Hello, everyone. Me and Jason are laughing because I did a countdown and he said, now I'm nervous. I'm like,
What?
why? Don't be nervous, bestie. We're
I
here
don't
chatting
know.
about, well, Jason doesn't like talking about himself. We chatted with
Yeah.
him before on stream, but I'm gonna make him do it because he's incredible and I love the work he's doing and his community is wonderful. So that's
Yes,
why
I
we're
agree with that
here.
one.
You agree with that one? Okay, good. But if y'all don't know who I am Ashley, also known as Miss Ash Rocks, in the streaming space, and I'm Tiltify's community manager. I get to chat with amazing charities, awesome creators like Jason, and now we're gonna just hang out and listen to Jason's journey and why he fundraises with his community.
Oh
So,
boy.
Jason, listen, listen. I know you don't like this, but I want to hear a little bit about your journey in the streaming
Uh,
space. Um, I would love to hear it. I want to know your journey.
yeah. I
Everybody wants to
mean,
know.
like I'll tell you what, like I've always, of course, been into video games and stuff, and I used to watch Twitch and all the time, and it honestly it never occurred to me that I could be a streamer. I was even thinking like I could never, no chance.
Really?
And then, yeah, honestly, yeah, like it never even like occurred to me, like, and I don't know. And like, I also like have just never had a passion in any of the job industries I worked in. And it just never was there.
Yeah.
But then anyway, my friends, like I was helping them like with their stream, just like some, I don't know, just some like tech stuff. And just, it's just funny to think about the things I would help with that's like so easy now. But, um, and then they actually sat me down and be like, "We think you should try to start streaming." And I'm like, "Oh." But I actually like kind of took it seriously and I was like, "Okay, let's try this out." And I loved it. Immediately, I just like this is the best thing ever. Like I can just ramble on and like just be myself and hey, if you're here for me, that's awesome. Like so and I kind of just kept going from there. Like it was the first time I actually felt like passion in something I was doing and I really, really just wanted to make it work. So, yeah.
Well, I think you do a really good job.
Thank you.
Okay. I think you definitely know how to entertain. You know how to make people laugh and feel welcome. You cultivated a community that does exactly that as well. Every time I go to your chat, they're like, "Hi, Ash." I'm like, "Oh, hey, girl. Hey." Everyone's so nice and welcoming. So you cultivated that. You built that. I know you don't like, talking about yourself, but we are here to celebrate you, Jason,
Oh
and all
boy.
the amazing things you have done. And I don't care how you feel about it, but I hope you feel at least loved.
I
That's
do.
my
I
job.
definitely feel loved, which is great.
Good. Good. I can't believe you didn't think that this would be a career, but look at you
I
now.
really didn't. I didn't at all.
And how long have you been content creating?
Oh, is it like 7 years maybe? Maybe
Wow.
something like that.
Something along those
Time
lines.
flies.
Right? Yes. Wow, you've done a lot in 7 years. You should be proud. You should be proud.
Thank you.
And speaking of those things that you have done with your community, that is fundraising. You have done a lot of fundraising for
Woo!
different causes. Okay, especially this year, with Totoro Babe and all the other casters. That was phenomenal work.
Oh, that was
I really
amazing.
appreciate that. That was so fun to watch. So
Oh,
amazing job there. But what inspires you to fundraise with your community?
oh my God. I think the one thing, and I feel like I was kind of late to the fundraising uh just area, but like I feel like they're just like what really pushed me like just like finally letting it click and everything is like there's just so much terribleness out there and you're like what can I do, like what can I do, like I feel useless here, like and like I feel like we all feel that way sometimes, especially like with the stuff we hear and like oh the way everything is, we don't need to fully get into that, but it's just it really beats down on you, and the thing is I just absolutely know there is more good in this world than we see, and I think that's when I was just like I could fundraise for a lot of these these just charities that really are making a difference, that are doing something bigger, and also it not only, makes me feel like I'm doing something, but also my community, which, like, we're all like, not all of us can be, congressmen or women, or,
Yep,
like, in politics and like making legislation. So like, what can we do? And like, it's just so cool to see these like these charities like doing just such big work, and it's really, and it just feels good to be able to help, because then you are making a difference. And I don't know. I think that's what kind of really like
absolutely.
got me into it. Like, it's just that overall feeling of just like, like, I wanna do something. Like, I
Yeah.
can't just shout out my window. I actually have to do something.
And I think just supporting those causes that are doing the hard work, like you said, like that are protesting, literally going to different cities and countries and states to speak about their mission of the cause, whatever it may be. Hey, what I can do is raise funds for you to continue doing that hard work that I can't do. So,
Mhm. I agree.
especially protesting and the Bail Project from years ago, like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
I'm immunocompromised. That's what I said. I can't go out there and
You can't
protest.
be on the
So
front lines. I know,
I
like,
can't.
you know? But there are
Yeah,
people who can, so we can back them up with our
exactly,
wallets.
exactly. Yep. And awareness.
And
Wallets and
aware, yes,
awareness.
and awareness. Melody, stop. Oh my
We
god.
have a special guest,
Yeah.
everybody.
There's Melody back there. She's messing with the curtains because she knows that it messes with the lighting, so very,
Yes, and
very good
and
helper.
I appreciate everything you did.
Thank you.
Say, like, hey, I have to do something. I can't sit here. And I know particularly, Jason, you're like, I have privilege. I need to use it. And I,
I
I've
that
heard you say that
there
before
was
too.
there was a big, honestly, I'm not even like, and I wish, I feel like I was very aware of things before, but like, actually learning what privilege means, and actually realizing, how much I have, like, I was like, I gotta use this right. Like, this is something, like, when you realize you have it, you're like, okay, we'll do something. Like, so I think that was a big, like, discovery moment for me. And you know and honestly, not perfect, still trying to get better. Is always listening, just always listening.
You're
About to
doing a lot
say
more than
something bad.
others. You're doing a lot
Thank
more than
you.
others.
I
Just playing games with me, my lady, Critical Bard, and other,
I love y'all.
marginalized folks. We love you too. Just giving us a platform to be in your space is step
Yeah,
one, I think. So we
it's a big thing.
appreciate the time you give us. So I think you're
Thank
doing a
you.
good job. There's always room for improvement, but we're not worried about that.
Always.
You're doing the do. So we appreciate it for sure. Absolutely. And Jason, you fundraised $67,000 on Tiltify. I don't know if you
Oof.
know that.
Okay, that's a lot. Okay.
67K. Okay. I just want to put down your brain
Oh my god.
just real quick. Yeah, you and your community did that. So talking more about fundraising, what are your favorite things about fundraising with Tiltify? It could be how we get the money to the charities. It could be about different incentives you use, whatever it
I
may
mean,
be. I would love to
there's
hear it.
there's a few things, like, and I'm definitely like, I know, like a big thing a lot of charity streamers do is incentives, and I don't think I've ever done one. Maybe I have. Like, but it'll be like a
Maybe.
last second. No, but you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I've never concentrated on that, and
Yeah.
so can I? Absolutely. I just, it's just one thing. But the one thing that I swear, there's two things that happen via Tiltify that I still will always be like, oh, let's go. Is there, one of my friends runs a charity, the Drew Project. And
Hmm.
I was trying to talk about, we were talking about Pride Month, and this was like a few months before. And I was like, and I asked her, I was like, can you see if, like, talk to, the heads of the charity, and can you see if we can get you on Tiltify? Y'all got them on Tiltify within like 3 days. Like
we work a little fast.
I but it was and that was huge for me because I was like, you realize like this makes and also I just it feels safer like putting like doing a charity through Tiltify because like, I just think I know it's more direct and it's just great. So that's why and the alert system, I mean, come on. It just makes it super easy. So that's one thing that just was super huge and I've raised money for the Drew project multiple times. Which is really awesome. And I think the second thing was there was a night I was asked to join a charity team 2 hours before stream, and now
Oh.
and I was just like, okay. I was like, Let's do it." Like, and it was just and it
Mhm.
honestly it was just raising money for I think it was like a few hours. I had a busy day and I got to like my setup like about a half an hour before I started stream, set up a whole campaign. Like
There
it's
you
that
go.
easy. Like you can
Yep.
make it so simple and just set up a campaign and like, I think we raised a few thousand that night. Like and that was
Yeah.
it. Like and it was just like I didn't have to put like all of this like time into like this I just popped on, raised money, there you go. Like
There you
it's
go.
it's very simple to do. Like to just create a campaign. Like you don't have to. I think that's another thing is probably advice on charities. It's like you don't have to put that much into it. It's honestly your passion and like, obviously, read about your charities. Like
Mhm.
it's such a big thing. Like your passion is what I think is the best part for the charity, not your incentives, not like, how set up it looks. Just as long as you have that vessel to get that money to the charity, that's all you need, and that's Tiltify. You can do it that way. Now, if you want to get complicated, you could do that too. But I think that's the biggest thing, at least for me, raising for charity is I'm very passionate about what I'm raising money for. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay, there we go. You answered my next question
I'm
because
sorry.
no, no, you're fine. I was gonna ask, like, how do you do this without any milestones or incentives or targets or anything? And you bring passion and love to your campaigns. You said you educate yourself on a campaign too, so you can have those call to actions for your community.
Yeah,
Hey, this is what this cause is doing. This is what your donation is doing. This is why I'm fundraising. So,
yeah.
if you have any secret sauce to share about that process with people that would love to be you, one day and do the same things you're doing, you could share it. I don't know if you have a process of how you research or how you
um,
build,
I
for
mean,
your campaigns.
every charity, like will have every charity like wants to give you as much information as possible, and the all of our computers are very powerful, so we can look up a lot of things, but like is really doing that research, but like and like don't be afraid to raise money for what you want to raise money for. You don't have it doesn't have to be the popular charity at the time. Like there's a lot of like charities out there that are very underfunded and need a lot of help. Actually, most of them are. So let's go pick any charity. Literally, and like I did earlier, is that it's that passion. So like you can even start researching charities if they're not on Tiltify. Do what I did. Email someone be like, "Hey, I want to raise money for, your cause and everything." And then you can like you can message, I think you have a contact at there's contacts at Tiltify to do that. And you can get them on Tiltify very fast, you know. So I think that's what it's for, is like looking up like charities, not just like, just be like, "Oh, everyone's raising money for this charity. Let's do that one." No, look up your stuff. Like, get passionate. Like, I mean, and there are popular charities that are doing amazing things, and you can do that, but still do your research. Like, I think that's what it is really just knowing what you're raising money for, knowing what the money goes to, and I think the passion like really does come across, you know, and and eh, I mean, I can say so many things about my community, but
They just enjoy your loud self. They just they're just there to support anything you want to support. And you do a good job of showing you're passionate about that cause. And there you go. That's your secret sauce. You said pick a cause that you want to fundraise for. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to be during the fundraising event time. Do it whenever you want to. Be
yeah.
prepared, do your research, and be passionate about that cause. So that's wonderful pieces of advice. And yeah, I just looked at your Tiltify. You do not have a single reward, and that I have to look more into that because that's incredible. Jason, you might be what do they say? Test number I don't know, test number 1 on how you have
Oh,
not
patient
used this
X or
thing.
whatever.
Patient X, yes. No rewards, no milestones. $67,000 raised for so many causes together. Drew Project, Black trans advocacy, everything. So that's incredible. I love it. But you don't need all that when you're just showing your passion and you get it done and do all the
It's pretty
things.
important, and
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I can't just put that on me because I the community that we have is just oh, like
Chef's kiss.
they have the passion too, and like and it's great to have a community that we can have open conversations with and learn from each
Yeah.
other. Like my
Yeah,
community has helped me
absolutely.
grow. I hope to think that I've helped my community grow, but I think we grow together and we're passionate together and oh boy.
Yeah. Again, like I said, your community is literally just a bigger version of you. Literally, they're just a bigger version of you. So, and yeah, you helped cultivated that. So, yeah, I always appreciate coming to your stream and being welcomed with love. So,
Oh, thanks.
Jason, thank you. Now, time to get sappy. Are you
Oh
ready?
boy.
All right. If I told you to write a thank you letter to your community, what would it say?
Oh my god. The thing is I give them so much crap all the time, but they like, and I think it shows with what I was just talking about. They're just as passionate, and I think they also just want to see change so much, and I thank them for that, and it's just, you know, it's the coolest thing to have this many people, you're surrounded by almost daily, and just, trying to make a change. They're just freaking great. Like they all the time. Like they never fail to amaze me, and I mean they do so much for me, and I always say I don't deserve them, but they would yell back at me, but they
Yeah.
really are just uh, the best people. Like, and they're and it's not about like saying they're the best or anything. It's just we're all just listening and learning, having open discussions, and it's just I can't even explain it. It's one thing I just can't explain to people so well, like that don't know Twitch and don't know the community around like that you build around it.
Yeah.
Like they are just such good people, and it's just awesome, and it's really great that and we're not all perfect, but we're trying to get better, and I
Better
just
one
love
day at
them
a
so
time.
much. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it. That's so
Ugh.
sweet. Yeah,
Don't
you've
tell
been
them I
in
said that
this
though. Not that this is recorded or anything.
it's not recorded at all. I could just cut this out. No big
Yeah, yeah,
deal.
yeah. Don't tell them.
Yep, yep, yep. But yeah, again, you cultivate that community. You've raised so much money for charity. You show your passion about wanting to be the best version of yourself and supporting marginalized groups and using your privilege, being a voice for us, and giving us a platform. Um, and yeah, I think you're doing amazing work,
Thank
and
you.
there's always more work to do. And I'm proud of you
Always.
for always having an open ear and having
Thank you.
discussions when they're needed for sure. And that's why we're highlighting you today. And I'm so proud of you. And I hope we can play some Valorant soon or something else.
Oh,
So
you'll be
now that
proud of
I'm
me since the last time we
rested,
played.
oh, I bet
Oh,
I would.
I'll be getting a
I
little
bet I
better.
would. Oh, the Rays plays still? Are the Rays
A little
plays
bit,
still
a
happening?
little bit.
Oh, I love it. And Jason, thank you so much for giving me your time today, darling.
Thanks
If
for
you could,
having me.
no, thank you, because I know you're busy. I know you're
You
busy
know.
doing all the good. But if you could let our community know where they can find you on socials, that would be wonderful.
Yes, I'm pretty much Jason Sully on everything. JasonSulli. On Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. Is there anything else I'm on? I don't know. YouTube,
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah, you can find me there. I try sometimes.
I try.
I try sometimes.
Thank you, Jason. Everyone that is watching, make sure you click those links down below. Keep up with Jason. Go join his community so you can feel all the warm fuzzies and the loud Jason gameplay. It's incredible. I
Oh boy.
promise. But thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks.